I switch off the air conditioning for me. Switch it off. Let me put this a little lower. Good. Perfect. Hello everyone. I'm going to take a few seconds to set up my IG live feed. Okay. Amoni K, Agide, hello. Hi. Hello everyone. Welcome to Life's Journey with Benedicta. Hi Binta_Ghana. Thank you for joining in. And today, for those of you that, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, it is youtube.com. We have loads of topics that we have treated before today that I believe would help someone. So if you haven't watched our previous episodes, please catch up. And on today's topic, we are going to be discussing why not all relationships end up in a marriage. Not all relationships end up in a marriage. And there's so many reasons why this happens. It is left for you as an individual to find out what you want your marriage to be like or what you want your marriage to look like. And if you have discovered what it is your ideal marriage or your ideal union is, then it is left for you to look out for those qualities in a life partner. So that is why not all relationships end up in a marriage. So the question is, as an individual, what do you like? Or what is your idea of a perfect marriage, or what is your idea of a beautiful union? If you figure out what those things are, then you should start looking for those things in a life partner. A typical example, you see a man and a woman dating or a man and a woman courting. The man is well-to-do, the woman is enjoying the relationship, but she's not in love with that man. Or the man is in a relationship with a very hardworking woman. She is enterprising, she is financially stable, but the man isn't in love with her. So he finds the relationship satisfactory at that moment. So I call it momentary satisfaction in a relationship. They know that what they want in a union is love, they want romance, not necessarily the financial gains. So if their relationship is based on financial gains, you bet that that relationship is not going to live beyond the dating phase. Because once he or she finds what she wants in a life partner, in another person, she's going to end that relationship and move with the partner that seems to have those qualities she desires in a relationship. So always Ask yourself, what is it you want in a union? Some people are after honesty. They want a relationship where their partner is completely honest with them. Some people want a relationship where their partners have a fantastic people skill and stop holding on to unrealistic unrealistic relationship status. Some people are in a relationship, they can read the signs on the world that they are not compatible, but they just are too desperate to wear that ring. They're too desperate to have that illusionary happily ever after. And they plunge head on into a relationship that it's not going to be mutually beneficial for both parties. So I'm going to be inviting someone to throw some light on this topic. She happened to be the same person that came on last week and gave us some exciting tips on our last week topic. Her name is Binta. So Binta underscore Ghana. If you're here, I'm going to be inviting you to join us live and throw some light on your take on today's topic. What are those things that you know, or what are those telltale signs that one should look out for in a relationship? So when we know that this relationship isn't heading to the altar and it's time for us to call it a day. Binta underscore Ghana, if you are here, I'd like you to join in so we can discuss this interesting topic. Binta underscore Ghana, if you're here, you can wave your hand so I can invite you to join in. Hello, Binta. So I want to go live with Binta, and I'd like her to throw some light on this topic. Hello, beautiful. Hello, gorgeous. You look stunning.
My gorgeous queen, how are you? How are you?
I'm good. Wow, I love your hair.
Thank you, thank you. I love yours.
Thanks.
But you always look amazing.
Thank you. I bought it.
It's yours. It's yours.
Exactly.
You bought it, it's yours.
Exactly.
There you go. There you go. So, you're going to have me walk that tightrope today.
Yes, I am.
Mm, this should be good. This should be good. So, let's go. The question is, I'm waiting.
The question is, we'd like to have your viewpoint on why some certain relationships do not end in a marriage. Why is it that some relationships do not end in a marriage? Is it because the parties involved knew from the get-go that they just were not meant for each other, or they wanted something platonic while looking out for their better half, or rather looking out for that person that complements them, or that person that has those qualities they desire in a life partner? Why is it that not all relationship ends in a marriage? And what are the signs to look out for?
So, okay. So, very early in a relationship, you have some men or women that are very clear. You know, they meet a woman, they say, look, I'm looking for this, and this. You know, I'm looking to settle down, whatever the case may be. It depends on where each party is coming from. So, if you're just dating, you know, and dating means seeing you and you're just seeing me. And you say, oh, let's see where this goes. All right, so we get into a relationship. Let's see where this goes. It may end up in marriage as well as it may not end up in marriage, right? So
Yes.
very early on in the relationship, if you're keen and sensitive and intuitive, you will find you look out for behavior. The beginning is the most beautiful time. There's a guy that used to say it's the most lying time of a relationship where everybody's being on their best. Oh, I'm so this, I'm so that. You go out to eat. Yeah. Oh, honey, I just love the way you chew your food.
The moon phase.
Sometime down the line, why you gotta eat like that? Why are you chewing like that? Close your mouth. You know, but you liked it in the beginning.
Yeah.
So, it could be very deceptive in the beginning. You know, could be very magical. The person you like, the person likes you back. You know, and that's the time we should really pay attention and start to learn about each other if we are in an exclusive. He's made it clear, I'm dating you, I want to date you, I want to see where it goes, and you the same. Right? So
Yes.
what do we look out for? How do you know that this is potential disaster?
Exactly.
I can say my truth, your truth, my absolute truth. The absolute truth for me is what I have truly experienced. Things that I chose to close my eyes to.
True.
Things that I said, well, maybe if I prayed a little bit more. This guy just needs a little bit more understanding. And I just choose to look the other way when the amber light is showing. By the time you're in it, it's not even a red light, it's a red flag.
Red flag, full blown.
Red flag, right. So, one of the first things I would pay attention to would be if he's a very critical person, criticizes you, criticizes the way, why do you have to wear your hair like that? Why are you wearing this? Or your family, they start to criticize the people around you, your friends, they start to criticize your family. That's an indication that this is going to be a problem. Unless you get rid of all these people, and it could go either way, the woman or the man.
Oh, the man. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Then you have, if he's extremely jealous, that person will start to put limitations on you.
Exactly.
I don't want you out too long. I don't want you or to not wanting you out. You know, remember when you guys came together, you had a life before him. You had social activities that you liked. You know, you had your own interests. You're an individual with your own interests, your own ideas of things, and two people coming together. He has his own. But when he starts to alienate you, then that is another indication that this is not healthy. And
exactly.
This is after some time of dating now. It's so beautiful he wants me around him all the time. You know, where are you? I can't wait to see you. But after a length of time, couple of months, he's consuming or she's consuming all of your time. Your free time, your me time.
Exactly.
He's consuming or she's consuming it all. That's a bit stifling.
It is stifling. It can get stifling.
That's a huge indication. So Tastebudz, you like, I like to hang out with my girlfriends. I like to go to the hairdresser, get a pedicure, manicure. It becomes a problem. Why do you have to go with her? Do you have to do your nail every 2 weeks? All these things. Why is it a problem now? They are consuming your time, and your me time, your downtime for me is being consumed. You cannot, how can you breathe
Yeah.
somebody has violent temper, disagreements, uh, you should be able to discuss issues.
Issues. And settle
Right.
amicably.
Thank you. Without the drama, right?
Exactly.
Without it escalating into violence. So this one I find to be really interesting. I have experienced it. What I love about your show is you're making women feel it's okay. You're not alone in this. I have been there. You have no shame in talking about what you've been through. You have no shame in saying, I was there too. This happened to me, that happened to you. You're not alone and you're not unique. Though everybody's situation may be unique to them,
Yeah.
but you're not alone.
Exactly.
So this particular one I experienced outside of violence too. I experienced this where a partner blames you for their behavior. So when they lose their temper and they break something or slam something in the wall, you made me do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
I cursed you out uncontrollably. Well, it was because you did this. So I am now responsible for you not being in control of
Always a blame factor. There's always a reason to blame some other person for their own
and it's always you
shortcomings.
that did it.
Exactly.
So they never want to shoulder the responsibility of what they did to upset you or what they did to make you act a certain way.
Yeah.
You did it all, right?
Yeah.
It's never they can't accept that. Listen, I have a problem. I can't manage my emotions. I can't control my emotions. Maybe I need anger.
I need help. I need help.
I need help. Oh no, it's not me. You're too macho. It's you. It's you. Check yourself. So who's checking you while I'm checking? And another interesting one is a partner who makes all the decisions.
Oh my God.
Can you relate?
I know that phase. I know that type of relationship. It's stifling. I mean,
It is.
it's
You
consuming.
have no brain to think. You can't come up with anything.
You
on your
have no voice.
room to
You
grow.
have no room to experience your own feelings and do the things you want to do. I can relate. I can totally relate with that.
Any decision, major decision made in the relationship, rather than it being an equal effort, the complete control is when he's making or she. In my experience, it was him. So if I went to him and I said, I have this idea. I think we should do this. That who's putting that in this? Who's putting that in your head? Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Then you relinquish the control. You take the control, and therefore I have no more identity.
You have a pea-sized brain, so you can't think things through.
Oh, I got one better for you. Bird. I have a bird brain.
Or a fish brain. And I pointed it out that fishes are intelligent. Dolphins are intelligent. And you say, I have a fish brain.
Look at a dolphin.
Yes.
So they don't want. I would love a relationship where you could sit and discuss things, even if he disagrees with it. You come to a place where
Both
come to
parties.
a place where we
Yeah.
agree. Well, let's try it this way. If it doesn't, then we can try it my way.
This
How
way, yeah.
about that?
Exactly.
Okay, well, let's rather than it's my way
Or the highway. My way or the highway.
And then when you choose the highway, it's a major problem. Even when you leave the situation, they're trying to control you. When you've moved on, they try to do damage to you.
Exactly.
When they see you flourishing, you're happy, you're blossoming in a new relationship.
Gaslighting.
Start some crap.
Oh, gaslighting. They try to gaslight you.
Oh, but you know something? sometimes if you say, honey, this is not working, I think the healthiest thing that we could do, which that's another one of the reasons that I love your show so much, is that you encourage, you don't have to stay in it. It's okay. You're not a failure in life if
Not
you
at all.
leave a bad relationship.
It's not the end of your world.
You have these people who intimidate you. Look, if you're going to go, they block the way you can go. They're going to kill you, and then they're going to kill themselves. Oh, no.
Exactly.
We're not doing that.
Toxicity at its peak.
At its peak. The highest
We
level
don't
of
need
it,
that.
you know?
No one needs that.
So sometimes it may be a little of all these things, or it may be, but that intuition of yours, something deep down in you is telling you this relationship is not going anywhere, it's not going to go anywhere, it's not going to blossom, it's not healthy.
You have
So
to listen.
Another interesting topic is socially and financially where the person that you're dating is. You touched on that, where, the guy has money, the guy is successful, and he can give you all the things that you want, not even need what you want, but you don't love him.
Yeah.
So why are you going to take him through that?
Exactly.
Why are you going to take yourself through that?
True that.
That's
being deceitful.
Service.
Being deceitful.
Right. Being very deceitful, you're doing yourself a great disservice.
Disservice.
You're doing him a great disservice. You're being very dishonest to him, and you're a very selfish individual.
Exactly.
You only care about what you want, and I see the guy wants to use him, and there are also men too who see
that in a woman. Yeah.
I saw this growing up in Nigeria, and a lot of men who are from very humble backgrounds made something of themselves, but in the social circle, they're nobodies. Right? So they need to attach themselves to someone in a social circle who is single, but their name has power. And all of that.
Your name, your last name should open doors for me, kind of a thing.
Exactly. So I'm gonna get with her for that.
Yeah.
Right? It's not going to work because number one, people around that girl and family members, especially the elders, will quickly detect that this guy's not being on the up and up. He's only around you because of yeah. It's a very painful thing
It
for
is.
anybody to feel that you don't have the qualities that this guy wants, but rather he wants me because
Of the things he can get
my
from you.
family name will open doors for you.
Exactly.
These things happen.
They
You
do.
have another interesting mix would be, I don't want to call anybody's name where I grew up in, but an affluent family. If it's a girl, because her family is affluent, they're the nobles, cannot and will not marry someone who is a nobody, even though he's okay. He's self-sufficient. So she would rather, nobility likes to marry nobility.
Nobility.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Big names like to marry
Big names. And they keep it in the family.
It could be a recipe unless she's from a very humble not humble background as opposed to class or she as an individual is humble.
Humble. If not, it's a recipe for disaster. Waiting.
Because you're coming from two powerful backgrounds, he don't have to listen to you. She sure as hell ain't gonna listen to you. My dad is this, that, and the other. What you got to tell me is you think you got money? You forget I'm coming from money? That type of thing.
It's a recipe for disaster.
It is.
Just waiting to
So
happen.
we have to and again, I would rather use me as an example. There's a lot of things that I closed my eyes to. A lot of things where, you know what, maybe I need to pray a little bit more. You know what, maybe I need to adjust a little bit more. And you keep adjusting and you keep praying and then you keep adjusting and you're losing
There is no
yourself.
end in sight. It doesn't come to an end until there's nothing left of you. You've given everything, and there is nothing left to give.
You are exactly right. They strip you of
Everything.
then the build. I mean, and when you find somebody that appreciates, and then listen, the marriage just the fear of you blossoming and becoming greater than they are. And if it's a person who feels they're very traditional and a traditional man that embraces the 3 P's, I'm supposed to be the provider, the protector, and profess my love for this woman. The 3 P's, if he's a very traditional man, your success
It's going to be a threat.
threatening and intimidating from you start dating.
Well said.
He's gonna try to clip your wings. Now, I had a business. My younger brother was a very massive area. My brother said, Sandy, I think you should do my younger brother. And his wife, beautiful in and out. And they to me are always, it's not that they did not work at their relationship, and it's not that they did not have obstacles or things, but it's the way they came together and worked things through. So when they were dating, this is a lady who's graduating with her master's degree, and he doesn't have one, and blah, blah, blah. She never one day looked at him that you're less than I am. Rather, she looked at him as, you got the potential. And today it's paid off beautifully, right?
There's nothing as wonderful as having a life partner that supports you and upholds your vision.
And she supports him. She doesn't barge at him. She doesn't say, listen, I think you need to do this or go that way because I went this way and it was successful. She supported him in becoming who he is today, right? So they're both complementing each other. So he says to me, I think you have enough space in this building to have a successful barbershop. You can have 15 chairs rented out, right? And every week you collect your pay. Wow, I started to look about that. He was with me. This is what my ex-husband said. You know, when it comes time for these guys to pay you, they might take the money and slap you. I said, slap me in the butt? What am I? I'm a dancer now?
A stripper.
Whatever they're going to slap. What are you talking about? I don't think it's something that you should do. Red flags everywhere. What did Sandy do? Okay. All right. We'll just rent the spot out for people who want to do parties or whatever. Okay, and my brother's like, Sandy, you should, come on, don't you? I'm like, honey, you don't know what I have to live with. You know? So what happened? I denied my dream
Oh my
so that I
God.
could appease his fears and his. So I know firsthand, just as you know firsthand. This is why I would say and implore to anybody listening to your show that if you are in anything toxic, listen to what you say. Whoever else you have on your show, that listen, you're not alone. You can get out of it. It does not get better. It gets worse.
Absolutely. You can get out.
And this is also women. I'm not leaving women out because there are women that can make a pastor or a man of God, scratch pastor, a man of God drink. Right?
You're right.
Have that ability.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So I'm not here to bash men.
No.
And you're not here to do that.
It's for everyone. It's for everyone.
It's for everyone.
Thank
You know,
you.
just look at
Thank
one
you.
side. And it's so liberating. It's so healthy. It's such healing to know that there are many people who are going through horrific relationships or wanting to start one or have
Wanting
started
to.
one.
Exactly.
And sometimes they don't know how to end it or get out of it and they see the signs.
They don't even
It's
know who to talk
almost
to. They feel it's a stigma for them to want to end the relationship or
it's a
end the
shame.
marriage. So
It's a shame.
having a shoulder to cry on or a listening ear
Right.
does
That's
all,
also
it just makes all the difference.
it does. It does. It
Mm-hmm.
makes you you have people that I'm going crazy. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. And if you turn to a pastor, he's just going to tell you,
Pray.
you're the wife, you should take it. Some pastors
Be the praying wife and just pray endlessly, fast endlessly,
no
and
matter what he does,
just
pray.
pray.
And you're praying to your death.
They failed to tell you that it takes two. To just the way it takes two to tango, that's how it takes two to pray in faith. If both of you are not praying, your prayer points are not in sync.
Not the same.
You are praying in vain. I learned that the hard way.
Completely.
You can pray all you want, pray till eternity. If you are not praying as a couple, your prayer points are not in sync with each other. You do not desire the same thing. It isn't going to work. Imagine a wife praying to God, please, I want my husband to love me. And the husband saying, please, I want my wife to pack out of this house and leave me the hell alone. How is that prayer even going to work?
What,
So,
you know what I say? That prayer doesn't go further than the light pole that bounces back on the gate. Sometimes I look at people pray and I'm like, I know for sure this prayer ain't going further than the light pole on the
no.
gate. You know? Right?
Yes.
Sometimes I know I've been praying for because it happened to me.
Yes.
I went up praying the pouring rain, God help me. This is not thunder and lightning, you would hear me, God. I came out and he's there ranking, he's raining mountains and saying all this. And where the heck did that prayer go?
Exactly. So people should learn the truth. It's just like saying you need a prayer partner. You see, what is the essence of having a prayer partner? A prayer partner is someone that believes in what you are asking from God and is willing to join his or her faith with yours in believing that that thing comes into fruition. So if you have different prayer points, your visions are not similar, your goals are not similar, please stop praying. Exactly.
Not in sync with each other. Now, when I hear a man talking about their, I mean, it is okay to talk about Dio, right? My brother.
Yes.
And also my other brother David from the same mom. The way they talk about their wives and build their wives up. I mean, and whatever they're doing, you could see in their face the pride, the joy of hey, when Tastebudz comes in and this and that and the other, you can see the excitement like a little boy. It's like I'm falling in love with this lady every day. There's more of her to fall in love with.
Exactly.
Now, that is what I call
A healthy relationship.
when my brother says, oh, I look at Shell every day and I just fall in love with her all over again. Falling in love means that love is constantly growing. You find reasons all the time.
Sorry, I remember, you know why? I just remember that when I had my first glasses, my reading glasses, this was sometime last month, and I wore it for the first time. He looked at me and he said, we're growing old together, and you look beautiful in it. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. So I was just,
It's like, what? I can see both of you later on in life. It's like, I can cross my leg. Would you help me cross my leg for me?
Exactly.
right? You
Exactly.
may see a couple gray hairs, and it's like, honey, don't worry about that. You could either color it or you can
Exactly.
erase it. I'm with you. I don't care. As long as you're with me, I'm with you. That's
Exactly.
what matters, right?
Yes.
Now, another group of people that I feel really sorry for are the East Indians, right? Because of a lot of things are cultural too.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many degrees a woman has. Her degrees could have degrees, right? That's how much degrees she got.
Exactly.
But she is not accomplished.
Yeah.
The greatest accomplishment in that society is to be married.
To be
You
married,
could be a doctor 10 times over and not married. So they
it
are
means
put
nothing.
in a position to accept whoever comes along. And because the men have the power, you got to pay them the dowry. You have all this dowry craziness going on.
Craziness in India.
And you have so hundreds and hundreds of shelters throughout India now that are protecting women who have, you have gasoline poured on them, they light them up, hot oil poured on them by even family members because they're not happy with the dowry.
With yes,
So
exactly.
it's like get rid of her, get another one, and some are dowry career men. Right? So this is, and now women in India are liberating themselves from that. And
Exactly.
they're going through so much.
Oh, they have
Like,
so many fantastic NGOs in India supporting women and causes to protect women and the girl child.
yes,
They are doing so
yes.
well and they've come a long way.
They have come a long way. So societies that were so closed off with broad thinking and it had to be this way, even them are coming out of that now. Far less us who we've embraced the modern way for so long. So
But we're still backward in so many human rights. We're still so behind. So much needs to be done.
especially the traditionalists, men who
Exactly.
are traditional thinkers, and men who are going against that are like Daddy Freeze and the things that he talks about. He's going against it. He's going against
Oh,
the storm.
exactly. And they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear about traditional reforms. They don't want to
At all.
hear about traditions that should be extinct. Because for me, any tradition that is not progressive should become absolute. It should be extinct. People should stop.
It's a danger.
It is.
It becomes a danger to the individual.
It is.
Extinct. Even in Sierra Leone, they're trying to have this female circumcision eradicated.
Oh,
They're fighting it. You have pockets of places where they've set up shelters for women who don't want to go through that anymore. But it's something that you're talking about eons of years ago. They've
yes.
been practicing this. And why? Because they're afraid that if they don't do that, the woman is going to
Lose and wayward. You see, for me, it's different forms of deprivation. Women have been forced to endure different forms of deprivation over the years, be it educational, be it sexual, whatever it is that liberates them, that gives them a sense of self. We have been deprived of these things for so long, and they know. And they're happy doing that.
Because they don't want the woman to say no. Don't have a voice.
Exactly.
A girlfriend of mine, this should help some people. Was dating this guy, and he moved down from New York, and everybody was happy, hunky-dory, until they started to live together, and the things that he would do to her. It's like, listen, I'm my own individual. I don't like the way you're holding me. Don't hold me like that. Don't do this to me. He's like, well,
Women have to learn. Women have to learn that they have monopoly over their own bodies. They have the monopoly over their own body. So you can decide, you can choose what you want to experience or what you want to be done to your body. It's your body, so it's your call. But I'm happy that a lot of women are beginning to understand this and they are beginning to embrace that liberty that is rightfully theirs.
And your show is doing that too. And I hope a lot of people listen, a lot of people pay attention. And know it's okay to say no. It's okay
It
to
is.
end a relationship that I don't see a future in.
Exactly.
Because I see all these signs that indicate that this is going to be a potential problem.
Disaster.
I know that even if it doesn't mean it's the end for you.
It
It
doesn't.
doesn't mean that for a man as well. If you're with a woman that is controlling and figures that because she's from a higher caste than you, has the education, has the money, she holds the purse strings, so you're the fool and I know it all. No, he should also leave that relationship. The most
Exactly.
important thing is respect. If you respect each other, you care about how you feel, how your partner feels, you care about what they think about ideas that come. Those are things that this person truly cares about me and how
Exactly.
I feel about certain things.
Exactly. That is what a healthy relationship is all about. And women, men and women alike, should look out for these signs and know
Exactly.
when to call it, know when to throw in the towel and call it a day instead of forging on into a marriage that you know is going to end up in disaster. It's not worth
Because
it.
I don't want my people to say I don't want my people to say I'm a failure. I don't want my people to say my biological clock is
It's
ticking.
ticking. What will the world say? Oh, as a little girl, I had this dream that I wanted to have all my before happiness. Your overall is what end of the day.
At the end of the day. And fast forward to today, how are we sure that all the nursery rhymes and the storybook stories of
Cinderella
and all this craziness that we used to read
and the M&B, the Mills and Boons. Mills and Boons. Have you remember the M&B?
Don't talk about my bills and books. Don't talk about
Oh, and I smelled his morning shave. Oh, and he looked at me with those hungry eyes.
his jet came down
Oh,
and whisked me away in his
oh my God.
and took me to
That has put a lot of women into trouble.
listen. I waited for my prince to come on the white horse and whisk me away onto the harsh reality set. You know what? Why do you've been selling us dreams for how long?
For eternity.
I think for eternity, and I think we need to restructure.
Restructure, we have to unlearn and relearn, and they have
Be
to.
careful what we're
Exactly.
our girl children.
Exactly. It's very important.
Young lady,
Yeah.
educated and everything, but at the same token, I also that way
Exactly.
when a guy steps to you, he has no cause but to be respectful to you.
To
because of
you.
how you carry yourself,
Yeah.
right?
So carry yourself the
When you
way you
respect
want to
yourself
be.
and you're confident
Yeah, the way you want to be addressed.
and you're self-confident,
Exactly.
you will ultimately, because he's a guy. I mean, he always talks about situations like that with his sister, so that he's aware of signs and guys that are potential dogs that they just want to have a good time with you, and how guys think as opposed to how ladies think. So he's educating her as well on the real world and the harsh realities of how things are now, especially with the Gen Z generation, where
Yeah.
there's no filters on anything.
None at all.
And they're more exposed to information than we were
Yeah,
in our days. We were with the Nelson Booms. Now everything is just in the internet for them to
yeah,
see. And it's not always, it's not clear the amount of information that's hitting them. They see potential suicide rates going up because it's too much information hitting them at one time.
exactly.
Because they want to force right children, right? Let them grow at the, and parents all the time. You have mothers that are teaching kids to just, it doesn't matter if he's nice or not. Once he has the money.
Oh my goodness. That is the wrong way to go about it. Definitely not the way the children should be educated. You see, they learn more from what they see us do, not what we tell them.
Rather than
So,
what we say.
yeah, what we say to them.
Exactly. You know, your children see you, they see dad, career oriented, building up each other. So that's their idea of what a successful marriage
Marriage,
is.
exactly.
And listening to these kind of conversations, they will help them to really look out for somebody with that has some sense worth about them. You know, they care, they carry themselves in a way where I feel safe and secure around this person. Because that's what I'm looking for in a relationship.
Exactly.
Somebody who's going to make me feel safe, somebody who's going to make me feel
Secure.
somebody who, no, don't put me down. If you don't like something, let's discuss it.
Yeah. So we just have to instill the right values in them at a very young age. We have to instill the right values in them so they grow up knowing the things they should look out for in a healthy relationship and in life generally.
Exactly. 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 So this has been such
Thank you
always
so
an amazing
much.
journey with you
Same here.
on life's journey because it truly is life's journey.
It is. We all have a
We have many
story.
more discussions,
Most definitely.
and I hope you never stop. Don't ever stop this. So
Oh,
I
thank
hope
you
we
so
can have
much.
more discussions with me, with whoever you choose.
Most
I'll
definitely.
be on all the time if you want.
You know, the thing is, we all have a story. We all have had our fair share of experiences. And what better way is there of educating one another or supporting one another rather than coming out and sharing the stories in such a way that it is uplifting, in such a way that it encourages us to be a better version of ourselves. So, thank you so much, Binta. It's always wonderful having you on this show.
Oh my gosh. Be anytime. Anytime. I hope we do more, if not
We
weekly.
definitely will. We're definitely going to do a lot more show on women empowerment, girl child education. It is important that we talk more about these topical issues. It is very important we do. It is.
I mean, I feel so good coming off of the show and knowing that somewhere somebody has been helped. Somewhere somebody is feeling good. As opposed to having a show that makes everybody feel horrible about themselves.
Exactly.
Rather, I feel good. I really, really feel good about this. And I know this is going to grow, especially with who you have behind you.
Amen. Oh, Freeze is wonderful. He is so encouraging. He actually makes out time every time. Every time the show is on, he makes out time to sit right here. Because I'm not so internet savvy, so sometimes I just get things mixed up. I don't know what's happening to the YouTube or to the ID, and I'm like, babe, what's going on? What should I do? And he goes, okay, let me change it from one network provider to the other. So
I love you, bro.
he
I love
is
you, bro. I can't see you.
he is so supportive. He is. I don't know how.
And
Some days I'm tired. I'm like, oh my God, I'm tired. I just want to sleep after all the cooking on a Saturday. And he's no, just go out there, say something. I have so many things, so many stories I want to tell, so many things I would like to share with women out there. And it is going to take a lifetime to tell it all. So I'm just there is no end. There is no end. New experiences. As long as we live, we're alive, we experience things daily, on a daily. So there's always something to share, with someone out there. So that phrase is always encouraging me, babe, you want to do this, do this.
Rather than people be haters and bashers and jealous, know that it can happen for them as well.
Exactly.
Don't
Exactly.
say hateful things and you're jealous or jump on somebody else's bandwagon that has a problem with you guys because of what you're doing. Don't, I can do it too.
All things, personally, I'm unfazed. When I see so much bitterness emanating from someone, I know that they are broken. They are so broken, and they just need an outlet. So sometimes, rather than getting upset or offended, I'm actually sympathetic. Because I'm like, why are you so broken? Why are you so bitter that your brokenness is manifesting? In your negative comments and all that negative energy. So it doesn't really bother me.
I love that. I love that. You can take, what I always say? When you're throwing a lot of negativity my way, it's amazing how God takes that around and fertilizes my life and makes it blossom more.
Exactly.
While you are there stewing in the negativity, I am growing.
Exactly.
I am blossoming. And then rather than you stew in it and keep your own self down, learn something, Because it's like, oh, there she goes again. There she goes again. Everything I said is not bothering her. Well, I'm going to throw some more shade. It doesn't work. Not when you got who you got beside you. So they should put it in their pipe and smoke it, Let's see what happens.
Thank you so much, Binta. Thank you for joining us. And do
anytime. I love it. I love it. And see you, if not next week, whenever you need me. I don't care if it's short notice. I run and do what I have.
thank you.
I'm bringing.
Thank you so much, Binta. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye.
Bye, darling. I'm going to go join Daddy Freeze very soon.
Exactly. We're all going to join Daddy Freeze in a few minutes.
All right. So, beautiful show.
Thank you,
Love you,
Binta.
girl.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So it's been beautiful talking with Binta, and I believe we learned so many things from the points she shared with us. So if you have been in a relationship that shouldn't be headed for the altar, it is left for you to put an end to it. There isn't any reason why you should fuss over it. If you aren't compatible, we have listened to Binta, we've heard the different reasons why some certain relationships shouldn't end in a marriage. So if you are in a relationship that shouldn't end in a marriage, this is the time for you to throw in that towel and call it a day. So, thank you all for watching. Blessing Stephen 4052, thank you for joining us. Blessing said, keep radiating, you are beautiful and intelligent. Oh, thank you so much, Blessing, for that. Olu_ni, my sister. Thank you. My picture is on my deep. Oh, Oluni, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you. Awesome show. Awesome show. Thank you, Oluni. Henry underscore the great 2000. Thank you, Tastebudz. Thank you to Henry. Thank you for joining in. And I love you all. Simply Vic, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much. Tell your story now. If Punch didn't break this, no one would tell story. Oh, Bada Gray Babe, I have so many stories to tell, and I've been telling my stories forever, and it's not something I'm just going to finish telling in a day. It's going to take a lifetime. So just stick to this channel, and you will be listening to more of my stories. There are so many, lengthy and endless, but I bet you always have something to learn from it. You both make a great pair. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Olu underscore Ni says, I love this show and I always look forward to it. Thank you, Olu underscore Ni, my sister. I love you all. So do enjoy the rest of your evening. I am rushing now to join Daddy Freeze live. I think it's live. It should be going live anytime now. So join me and let's all head to Daddy Freeze YouTube page. So do enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you once again for making out the time to join me. And remember, it is www.youtube.com/tastebudzng. If you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Remember, we have loads of yummy African recipes uploaded on this YouTube channel. So if you do love cooking, you love African food, this is the channel for you to subscribe to. So thank you once again for joining in. Bye-bye. It is Life's Journey with Benedicta. See you same time next week, Saturday.